Oh, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good, I think. Swipe left to close. Yeah, I got that. Let's see. All right. Hello, Ryan Taylor. Hello, Cherry 7 Up. I don't know if I've ever actually had a Cherry 7 Up. Hello, Sandy N. Johnny's mom. I wonder who this Johnny is that they speak of. Lady Tiger Barbie, Son of Liberty. Wow. Revolutionary War sounding name that is. Daniel, Mona, Backwater Fishing, Kyle Voiles, street name. Where's the biscuits and gravy? That's a good question. I'll tell you what, where there's good biscuits and gravy. There's a restaurant that is in Oswego, which is where my first wife lives with my two older daughters. And there's a place called the Oswego Family Restaurant. And oh my gosh, they have the best food, and it's kind of one of those dive restaurants that you wouldn't go or wouldn't see it if you didn't know it was there. But there's always a long wait. They only take cash or checks, which is so strange. And I happened to go there once. You know, I don't often carry around a lot of cash. I'm not, you know, just don't. And but happened to have my work bag, which had a checkbook in it, which was strange, and it must have been in there for a long time because I don't write too many checks these days either. And was able to pay my bill with my very last check. But anyway, they have an old-fashioned phone, a dial phone that rings loud with a cord, and but great food at reasonable prices, and just a overall great restaurant. If anybody's in the western suburbs of Chicago, the Oswego Family Restaurant in downtown Oswego is fantastic. So that's my plug for them. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of interesting questions on this Sunday morning, so I'm just going to roll into my intro. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is, oh, my neck's cracking. Don't know if that's feels so good or hurts so bad. But anyway, again, this is Coffee with Ken. It is Sunday morning. It is April 21st. It is 6:31, says that clock on the stove. And happy Sunday. This is a little show I've been doing for quite some time, and it is a show about me talking, and it's a show about me, I don't know, kind of sharing life, sharing my version of life, my story that is life. And we all have our versions, we all have our stories, we all have a story to tell. I just choose to tell it. And this is that story that started 5 years ago when I was just a guy needing to talk. And I thought maybe for some reason talking about life on Facebook Live made sense. I don't know why it made sense, but for some reason it did. And people started connecting and watching and following me around. And I've been on a bunch of different platforms, a whole bunch of different homes. This is stayed at a buddy's last night who was out of town and needed me to watch his house. And I tell you what, I had a great night's sleep in his guest bedroom. It felt like a five-star hotel. And I woke up and slept, went to bed crazy early, and slept for me crazy late, just after 6 o'clock. And woke up and laid there. And as I always thought, should I do my show? Should I do my show? And I go, I probably should do my show. And then a thought crossed my mind. I wonder where he keeps his coffee. I wonder what type of coffee maker he has. I wonder if I can figure it all out and get to my show on time at 6:30. I'll have you know, I did figure it all out. I found the coffee, which is Sarah's Coffee 722. I've never heard of it. It better not say decaf. It says from Colombia. It must be good stuff. And poured myself some, figured out his more fancy coffee maker than I have at home. And here I am. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know this isn't just a show about me talking. For those that have been watching a while, you know it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to take my first sip of this Sarah's Coffee 722. I wonder what that stands for. We don't know. But my hope is that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, let me see here. Having a little connection issues. I'm having some connection issues during my introduction. I don't like that. It says unstable connection. I'll get back. If we get a green dot, we got a green dot, so I'm going to roll forward with my introduction. But I'm excited to have my first sip of coffee, and my hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. It's got a flavor I'm not familiar with, and that's not that surprising since it's a coffee I've not had before, the Sarah's Coffee 722. But I'm happy to have it, and it's hot, and it's tasty, and I think I made it extra dark today because I think he's got a different type of coffee filter. I usually use the paper coffee filters, but he has one of those funnel-looking kind of screen coffee makers. Good morning, Jane. And I didn't know exactly how much I like to coffee I like to put in there, and uh, again, don't know exactly how much coffee I like to put in there or how deep I like to pour it. And I poured it a little extra deep, and the coffee came out extra dark. And I'm gonna have another sip. So cheers again. What notes do I get? I don't think you can call from Medville, Pennsylvania. I don't even know what that means. Jane Gosher from Medville, Pennsylvania. I don't know what that means. And we had a Grace Ruiz from Texas, I believe, hopping on. And I so appreciate you guys. I so appreciate you guys for hopping on. Give the coffee a big smell and drink. I talk about it a lot. And I give reviews, I give analysis, I give my thoughts and my opinions. But I don't think that God blessed me or cursed me in some cases with the most fine-tuned taste buds in the world. Because usually I'm not that picky. I'm not that picky about food. I'm not that picky about coffee, despite having a show called Coffee with Ken. I enjoy certain flavors. I know that. When it comes to coffee, I like it hot, and I like a lot of it. And outside of that, I'm not too picky. Yes, I could save money, and yes, I could buy a huge vat of Folgers coffee in a plastic red jug. I think it's Folgers, and I don't. But I do like to spoil myself. I'm on a one of the nice little pamperings I do in life is try and drink some nice coffee, just because I like it. But I can't pick up any subtle flavors on this Sarah 722. Tastes like coffee to me, and it tastes pretty good. So let's have another sip. Christine wants to know, have I tried the foot-long Subway cookie yet? It's an odd question, Christine, although I appreciate it. No, I haven't been to a Subway in quite some time. Yesterday I was going out to track meet of my daughter's, and rode by a Subway, and I thought about it because I was a little bit hungry, and decided to skip out and keep on driving. But I hadn't been to a Subway in a long, long time. I didn't know that they had foot long cookies. I didn't know they had foot long cookies. Uh, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like the thing for me. Doesn't seem like the thing for me. So no, I haven't tried it. I haven't tried it. Let's see. Christine's dying to try the foot long cookie. Well, here's to Christine eating the foot long cookie. Seems I'm having internet connections. I should have hooked into my buddy's Wi-Fi. I didn't, or maybe I did. Let me try. Yeah, I like the spicy Italian with plenty of mayo and chipotle sauce and all sorts of stuff. I'm gonna. Are you getting a mixed connection, RJ? Possibly you are. I'm gonna try something real quick, and then it's good connection right now. I'm wondering if my Wi-Fi that I have on my phone is trying to pick up his connection here or something, because I keep getting a lost connection. I thought I was just using my phone service. But yeah, the best sum is spicy. I love the spicy Italian. You get it heated or toasted or whatever, and a ton of black olives, some onions, and I usually have them throw on a few of their favorite stuff. So I like Subway. It kind of got a bad rap for a number of years, but then they tried to kind of change their marketing and mix it up a little bit, and got some big name celebrities to advertise their products. And I think their product's probably gotten a little better. It's gotten a little more expensive, like a lot of things in life. And again, just I don't know, great tasting sandwich, if you ask me. There's a lot more competition. When I was a kid, I think Subway was pretty much the only game in town. But now there's so many sandwich shops and choices and what have you. The world's got a lot more complicated in the last 40 years or 45 years or whatever. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I do know things are changing, and things that used to seem dominant and forever, like ESPN, are struggling. And Mr. Clean, I love your products. And I think you just got to accept change in the world and roll with change as best you can. And I've done a pretty good job over the last 5 years. Somebody messaged me yesterday on Facebook and said something really kind, and that they'd found my videos and they found them super inspirational, and told me to keep my chin up. And I responded, well, that's one thing I'm pretty darn good at, keeping my chin up. Because again, it hasn't just been the last 5 years. And I think we put on burdens to ourselves, and we put on struggles to ourselves. And if we just change our perspective a little bit, if you can get angry that there's only so much coffee left in the bag, or you can be thankful that you have coffee left in the bag, or you can be bummed out that it's, I don't know, 30 degrees outside this morning, or you can be happy that it's 30 degrees outside this morning. I will say I was hoping to do my show out on my buddy's back patio, because he's got a beautiful backyard, fenced in, nice patio, nice tables. But then I did look at the thermometer, and it said it was 30 degrees. And that seemed a little cold to be sitting out there first thing in the morning. Thought I'd check out his kitchen and enjoy that for a while. So I'm going to have another sip of coffee. And the problem for you guys is I might have this show go a little extra long, because the coffee maker's right behind me. I wouldn't even have to leave you to go get more. Usually talk for about 20 to 40 minutes. Sometimes I've been known to talk upwards to an hour. Don't know if people like it or not, but I mean, I guess if you don't like it, you don't have to stay tuned in. I'm just a guy drinking some coffee and talking on a live show, and I've realized some people hop on and oh, okay. Well, sorry, I wasn't want to do the one chip challenge this week. No, I don't, RJ. I hear that's talk crazy. Can I get breakup advice? It's been 2 years and I miss her. I'm 20. That was my first, and vice versa. I struggle with relationships. I've been divorced twice. Always fall head over heels, or usually fall head over heels. I think the woman I'm dating's so, I'm a romantic and I believe in fairy tales and I think fairy tales should last forever. And I start dating a woman, I go, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. And then kind of life gets in the way and we start, I don't know, realizing that they're not perfect and we're not perfect and our relationship's not perfect. And then I don't know, in my case, my relationships always end up parting. And breakups are really hard for me because I love hard and I sob hard. Um, it's been 2 years and you miss her. Have you stayed in touch with her? Have you stayed in touch with her? I don't know. You guys could meet for coffee. I watched a video last night where there was a guy giving some advice and saying if you're going to break up with somebody, you got to leave it cold turkey and never look back because looking back just keeps you tied into that relationship. And that would be that guy's advice. But for me, I'd say do what your heart tells you. If you've been in contact and you want to meet this young lady for coffee, uh, uh, meet her for coffee. You're saying she blocked you? Well, then she's moving on. It seems like she's moving on. Just in terms of a getting her back strategy, I'd stop chasing her. She needs to chase you. She needs to come back to you. You need to work on yourself. You need to charge forward. You need to go to the gym today. You need to stop drinking alcohol or doing drugs today. You need to get better. You need to read a good book. Go to church. It's Sunday morning. Do something positive for yourself. Hang out with positive people and stop chasing this girl. Odds are decent. You might be too good for her anyway. And if you're not, get too good for her and go to church this morning and then go to the gym and then work out and get a good night's sleep and become the best you can be and stop thinking about this girl. If you're still thinking about this girl, I don't know. You're just going to sit there. You're going to sit there, and it's going to be a rerun every day. You're going to go, oh, she blocked me. She blocked me. Can you do 70 reps, 15-pound dumbbells? RJ, you know the answer to that. You know the answer to that. I did 65, and I hurt myself. And I don't want to try 70. I did go to the gym yesterday, and I went back to the standard routine of doing 4 sets at each weight. And but I'm going to use the max rep strategy as a regular part of my workout routine because I think the max rep strategy makes the workout a little more fun, kind of makes it a little more competitive. It makes it a little shorter because you're doing all your reps of one weight in one set instead of 4 sets. And I think it's probably good to mix up your workouts. I think for me, I was feeling a little flat, kind of doing the same workout every time I went to the gym. And watcher here, a buddy of mine, RJ, challenged me to see how many times I could curl a 15-pound dumbbell. And he asked if I could do it 60 times, and I'm competitive, so I gave it a try, and I did 65 on each arm, and it was hard as heck. Because 15-pound dumbbells feel pretty light. They're about half what I generally work out at. But I'll tell you what, they don't start feeling light about 30 reps in, and your arms start getting sore and getting exhausted, and it's just a great workout and a great way to mix up your workout, and felt so good. So I don't know if I'm going to try for 70, but when my arms heal a little bit, I will use the max rep strategy as a way to keep my workouts fun and mix it up a little bit. RJ wants to know if I'm still walking backwards. Yes, I am. Not totally sure if it's accomplishing exactly what I wanted. I have a bad right knee with no cartilage left in it, pretty much, from years as a runner. And about 3 months ago, I had a viewer suggest that I start walking backwards on the treadmill. Good morning, Sandra Len. Had a viewer suggest I start walking backwards on the treadmill to strengthen the muscles around my leg or my knee. And I started doing it. I started really kind of enjoying it. Was worked up to 15 minutes walking backwards. And when I started at a minute and a half, or excuse me, 1.5 miles per hour on the treadmill because I didn't want to fall over. But I'd progressively get a little faster. And the other day, in an effort to mix it up, I decided to go a little faster. And again, I was going even a little faster, and I moved it all the way up to 3.5 miles per hour and down to 5.5 minutes walking backwards. It was a little more intense, but I think personally a little better workout, just up in the intensity and shorten the length. So it's almost the reverse of my max rep strategy, but it hurts. It's cardio. My legs feel it, and it feels pretty darn good. I was doing it yesterday, and by the way, when I'm doing it, I'm holding my phone and kind of rocking out, and sometimes I'll be singing along to whatever song I'm singing. Don't know what I was singing yesterday, but I sure was singing it, and I realized that when I started, I was kind of hoping I'd start something at the gym and that people would join me and join a walking backwards club with me leading. That's all walking backwards. And I was chuckling to myself because not one person has done it in the 3 months I've been doing it. And people are watching and probably wondering what the heck is this guy doing. He must know something because he looks pretty lean and fit for a 55-year-old man. And that feels good. It feels good. And again, what's cool about the gym that I go to, it's just a Planet Fitness, is there's people of varying ages and shapes and sizes that work out there. And kudos to everybody of any age, shape, or size that works out because we're all trying to get better and we're all on our own paths. And we're all doing our best to get a little better every day. And it always feels so good. But I'll tell you what, from the vain side of me, it feels nice to be in pretty good shape and feeling fit and able to walk backwards on the treadmill with some confidence because when people look at me, they must think, well, he must know what he's doing because he's fairly fit. Did I ever try Zumba? No. I've done yoga classes. I used to do yoga all the time, and it's a great, you're in there for like an hour. At least the classes I took were about an hour. And it's a great mix of mental, flexible balance and strength all rolled into 1 hour-long meditative practice. And it's a great, great workout. I've done a few other type of workouts in that type of setting, but never tried Zumba because, I don't know. I think it's great, but I just don't think dance. I mean, the only way I've ever danced in my life was being drunk. And I stopped drinking about 2.5 years ago. And unless I start drinking again and they start serving alcohol at the gym I go to, I'm never going to try Zumba because I'm not going to get out there and dance and in front of a crowd. It is funny. I was at Starbucks the other day, and it was like 6:15 in the morning, and I'm ordering my coffee, and there's a guy behind me, and the music that's playing was this really kind of dancey, pump-up music. Good morning, Ryan. And the music took me, and all of a sudden my hips started moving, and I actually felt like I looked pretty good. And he goes, wow, you got a lot more pep than I do at this time of the day. And, yeah. So let's have a little more coffee. I'm going to go get some. So you guys hang here. Good morning, two-girl mom. Good morning, two-girl mom. Oh. Well, it's 6:52, says my buddy's clock on the stove. My buddy is very Neat. I so appreciate that. I'm walking around looking for the coffee, and I go, where would he keep it? And I looked in the cabinets where I expected he'd keep it, where I'd probably keep it. I couldn't find it there. And I go, does he have a pantry? I circled my head around and realized he had a pantry right over there. And was excited when I opened it to find a large selection of coffee, and pleased to pour it and pleased to get it started. Sandra Lynn, I realize I'm pausing. I'm not sure what the cause is. I don't know if I'm not hooked into his Wi-Fi, and maybe my cell phone service isn't great. So I apologize for any glitches or pausing in this broadcast, but I'm just doing the best I can. And again, I try and learn lessons in life. I don't know, stuff happens, and the smoother you roll with the stuff. I used to freak out when stuff happened, and if I had a bad connection or if things weren't going well. It is God's day, Buff. I was talking earlier. I'm excited to go to church this morning. I'm really excited to go to church. And I had to think for a second, what time's service? And there's a church service at 9:30. And I'm looking forward to going and seeing Gary with 2 R's holding the door for me and saying good morning to me. I'm looking forward to my Sunday. It's supposed to be a beautiful, beautiful day. I've had a great night's sleep. I got a full pot of coffee, and got a day ahead of me. You have wisdom to provide to young. Do I think that I have wisdom to provide to younger generations? Well, I certainly have thoughts, Donald, and I certainly have experiences, and I'm certainly willing to share them. And I think God gifted me with an ability to talk pretty well. And so, since I'm willing to share them, and since I have a gift of gab, if you will, uh, I would leave it up to the younger generations to determine if it's advice or wisdom that they want to follow. These are just my experiences and my stories, and I'm hoping my experiences and my stories, I don't know, provide benefit to others. But again, I'll leave it up to the viewer to decide. Greg wants to know, is it Gary? Because I said Gary has 2 R's in it. And TD, you are right. It is Gary, Garry. And really nice guy, and always holding the door. And there's so many nice people, and he loves on my son, and his family loves on my son. I got a little boy named Augie who loves going to church with me. I don't know, he loves the play area, the kids area. And they're so nice to him, and he's makes them smile. He makes the world smile. He really does. Really does. I think I posted a video about that last night. I woke up. Sometimes I'll wake up during the night and have stuff on my mind, and I'll go, hey, why don't we edit a video? And I did a video called Helping People Smile. I don't know. Feels good. Looks like we have another lost connection. I'm going to try something. Looks like we have another lost connection. I'm going to try something. Let's just see if this works. Let's see if this works. We're doing a little experiment. We're doing a little experiment. There we are. There we are. We're back on. We're back on. We're back on. I think what was happening is I had the Wi-Fi on my phone on, and technology's weird. Well, maybe we are. I don't know. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, it works. This is all I can do at this moment. Sweetie wants to know where I am. I'm coming at you from Naperville, Illinois. It says unstable connection. It says good connection. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Maybe I should sign off. Maybe it's God telling me to sign off. Maybe it's God telling me to sign off and drink my coffee and do my stretches and go about my day and get excited for my Sunday and drink some water, and eat some fruit, go to church, feel good about life, think of gratitude, be thankful for things, and move forward. Thoughts from Church, a new series. I like your idea, RJ. How many new series do I need? How many new series do I need? I always clip these videos and post them on various social media platforms. And I don't know, have a lot of fun with it. And I think if you're having fun, oh, I know I had a thought from the gym yesterday. Do you guys want me to talk a little more? Do you guys want me to talk a little more? Maybe I will. As everybody does, it's working out at the gym. I spend a little too much time staring at my phone. And I'm pretty good about it. I don't stare at it like some people, but I mean, I still look at it from time to time. And I was there and I would think I was on the bench press and I was flipping it up and I looked at something and something opened up on Facebook. And I belong to some sobriety groups on Facebook. But I'm starting to wonder if those groups aren't for me. And it's not because we all don't, I don't know, I don't drink and they don't drink, but I almost feel I'm on a different path than them when it comes to sobriety. And all they're talking about on this group is their sobriety and how they struggle with not drinking alcohol and how, hey, what are they worried about? What do they think of that's going to cause them to drink alcohol? Maybe if they talk about that, they'll be better off. It'll be easier for them to stop drinking alcohol. And I'm going, I don't think about it that much. I don't think about drinking that much. And I actually commented, hey guys, just a thought. Maybe if we thought more about good things like working out or self-improvement or loving our kids or loving ourselves or focusing on good things and less time focusing on booze, it'd be easier for us all to stop drinking. Because I looked at the comments and it seemed like everybody was sitting there with a bottle of whiskey that they're having a tug of war with. They're wanting to drink, but they're fighting that urge. And it's just not that way for me. It's just not that way for me. And maybe it is. And I feel bad for anybody that struggles so much. But I decided I wanted to stop drinking 2.5 years ago after drinking almost every day, 8 beers a day on average, I'd say, for 35 years. I had a problem, and I recognized it, and I said, I don't want to spend the rest of my life sitting on the couch wondering if I had enough Heinekens in the fridge. And that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing, and I wasn't proud of who I was and felt I could do better, so decided I believe in habits, and I knew my drinking was a horrid habit, and I knew life would be better without drinking. So I don't take it day by day, and I don't struggle with sobriety. I celebrate my sobriety. And I think, and I could be wrong, again, maybe it's different for other people, but I think if these people just made the decision to stop struggling with sobriety and celebrating their sobriety, they'd all be a lot better off. But I could be wrong. Again, addiction probably hits us all differently, and mine might have just been a bad habit, and I might have been fortunate not to be physically addicted to alcohol. But I stopped drinking, and I mean, I've kind of been tempted a couple times, but not really. Not really. A couple times, I said, wow, that looks good. But it's never been like, oh, I need to call a sponsor and talk my way through it. And maybe it is for some people. RJ wants to know if I've ever been to an AA meeting. Yes, I've been to one. Had somebody reach out. And when I first said, hey, I'm going to stop drinking, everyone was saying, oh, it's so hard. Way to go. It's so hard. I realize I know how hard it is. And I go, hey, it's really not that hard. I just decided I'm going to stop drinking. But anyway, somebody reached out and said, hey, you should go to an AA meeting. So I did. And everyone's sitting around a table and announcing their names. And I did not feel I fit in the spirit with these people. And I'm not saying anything against AA, but it was not for me. It wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't I was not laughing, but I was telling stories that I thought were funny about drinking. And these people all seem to really be struggling and needing this experience to stop them from drinking and to be held accountable and to have sponsors. And it's cool. Everybody has their own journey, but it wasn't for me. And maybe these sober groups, and I post my videos and I hope they help, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I can only tell my own story. I can't tell other people's story. Uh, it just wasn't for me, and felt I'd be more likely to drink if I attended AA meetings. Uh, yeah, well, Scotty kind of agrees with me, and I'm not saying weird in a bad way. I'm not saying like weird in a bad way, but it was weird for me. It was weird for me. It just didn't feel right. It felt like a lot of people saying they were powerless. And without this, I don't feel powerless. I made the decision to stop drinking and I felt powerful, and I feel proud. I go into a bar now and I watch a game and I see everybody drinking and I almost feel that I have a superpower. Uh, you know, because I don't need it, I don't want it, and I know it's not good for me. And somehow, if I could instill that into the people struggling, I think they could become powerful and they could not feel like victims and they could not feel like they're helpless. And it makes me sad to see people struggling like that because you know, I don't know. I didn't have to. And maybe again, we're all on our own journeys and we're all doing our own thing and we all have our own burdens to bear. And maybe that's just not my burden to bear. Uh, Maybe that's just not my burden to bear. And maybe I'm just fortunate for that. And thank you, God, for not adding that burden to my list of burdens. Um, But I do think our mental attitude's huge. And if we look at things a certain way, again, we can be pleased by, we can feel grateful that we have coffee left, or we can be bummed that we only have a little bit left. And I think I just decided I was going to celebrate sobriety from the beginning and enjoy the feeling that is being sober and feel good about it rather than feel tempted by alcohol. And it's worked for me, and I'm betting it can work for others. I'm betting it can work for others. So when I see people on these sober groups uh, talking about how their struggles and how they want to drink more, I think I'd advise them, hey, I think what you focus on expands. And I think what you focus on expands. And if you're focusing on your battle with alcohol, you're probably going to want to have uh, more alcohol. And if you're focusing on how good it felt to wake up this morning with a clear head and a clear mind and no yucky or hangover feelings in our body, uh, uh, I don't know. I think you're gonna have an easier time uh, in your journey for sobriety. And yeah, if anybody out there's listening, I'd recommend that. Uh, uh, I don't know. Know that you can do it and that you're worth it. And if you're struggling with any addiction, to be gambling or alcohol or drugs or what have you, uh, it starts from within, and it starts with that first single step. And I'd recommend going to church on this Sunday morning, and even if you don't believe, that's okay. Shake somebody's hand and smile, and I don't know, feel good about yourself. And the better you feel about yourself, the more you're going to be able to leave those addictions behind and leave those struggles behind. And you're worth it. So I'm going to have one more sip of coffee. I heard a dog woofing outside. Sounds like a big dog. I'm going to go get the paper. I'm going to get eaten by a monstrous dog from the neighbors. Hope that doesn't happen. But it's Sunday morning, and I'm so thankful for you all for joining today. And I so appreciate you guys hopping on. And I apologize about any glitches I had on my program today. And I thank you guys for sticking through it and hanging with me through the glitches and rolling with my show. And I appreciate you guys. And I want to thank you for joining. And I hope you had a great night's sleep. And hope you're having a great weekend. And you're feeling good. You're loving yourself. You are forgiving yourself. And as always, hope to talk to you soon. Bye bye.